3 minutes left. Archangel Michael says, a letter is coming. A letter that changes everything. Inside it is your name written in golden ink and a secret you were never supposed to know. A truth about your inheritance hidden for years. But now it's finally time. Open this before it's too late. Beloved soul, these words may sound unusual, but heaven has been waiting for this exact moment when your eyes would meet this message. Can you feel that sensation moving through you? That is not chance. That is confirmation. Archangel Michael stands near you now, his wings spread wide, holding a message so powerful that even heavenly beings trembled when they first saw it. This is not ordinary information. This is something sacred. Your name has been spoken in heavenly places. And now a mysterious letter approaches, not delivered by human hands, but carried through divine revelation. If you turn away from this, you may overlook the very key heaven preserved for you. You were chosen to hear this. Not because you are flawless, but because your spirit carries something holy. You feel it, don't you? That deep longing, that feeling that something important is approaching, something life-changing, something meant for you. That feeling is not your imagination. It is a spiritual memory beginning to awaken. And today, Michael confirms what your heart has sensed all along. There is an inheritance connected to you, one that powerful forces tried to keep hidden. But heaven is bringing it into the light now. And the most surprising part is this. The one who sent it may not be who you expect. Last night, your name was called from beyond the veil. Archangel Michael heard it clearly. He could not ignore it. He went directly before God and said, Father, allow me to deliver this personally. If they miss this moment again, they may miss the reason they were created. And God answered, yes. That is why you are reading these words at exactly the right moment. Only 3 minutes remain before something important is set into motion, but there is still enough time. Enough time to say yes. Do not overlook the weight of this message. Michael is not speaking from fear. He is speaking from love. Because what is coming is more than a letter. It is an unveiling. A revelation. Something already signed, sealed, and waiting in the spiritual realm, now preparing to enter your earthly life. But it requires your attention. And beloved, pause for just a moment. If your heart is racing, if you cannot stop reading, pay attention to that. It is a sign. It means these words are reaching you for a reason. Subscribe now because Michael has more to say. The next message may carry the final piece needed to receive what has been prepared for you. If you leave now, you may never find this moment again. Now let us return to the letter. This is not something waiting in a mailbox. It is a spiritual declaration from someone who left this world but never stopped caring for you. They waited until heaven gave permission for this message to be shared. And that permission came only a short time ago. Michael is not simply delivering it. He is guarding it. Forces of darkness do not want this truth uncovered. There are people, even within your own family, who never wanted you to know what was hidden. But heaven overruled them. Your name was written upon a heavenly record. And angels are now releasing what was delayed for years. There was a time when this could have reached you, but your heart was too wounded. You were distracted. Surrounded by influences that blocked the path. That is why it never arrived. But Michael says, this is the final opportunity. If they receive this, everything changes. They do not realize how close they came to losing it. Yet God stepped in. And do you know who sent this message? Someone who once held your hand. Someone who spoke your name with love in their final moments. Someone who still visits your dreams, even when you try not to think about them. Yes, that person. They asked heaven to make sure these words reached you. Because there is something connected to your birthright that was never revealed. Something that would change the way you understand your family story. And now the time has come for you to know it. Michael stands holding a sealed scroll filled with heavenly fire. Not everyone is permitted to see it. But for you, he opens it carefully. Slowly. And the first words written there are enough to shake your heart. They read, "To the one I loved most, everything was left for you, but others tried to hide it. I am sorry for the pain you endured." Those words come from a soul you never truly stopped loving. They are not forgotten. They are watching. And tonight they asked Archangel Michael to bring you this truth. My child, when love reaches you through a message like this, it is also guiding you toward stability, clarity, and peace in your own life. My child, I see the struggle you have been facing, the stress about finances, the silent worries that stay in your heart, and the moments where you feel uncertain about what comes next. You have been asking for peace, and that answer is already on its way. You are not meant to stay stuck in fear, you are meant to walk forward with purpose, with faith, and with clear steps every day. That is why a simple system has been placed in front of you, a 30-day faith and financial breakthrough system, a path where each day brings you a focused prayer, a small financial action, and clear direction to help you move ahead. No pressure, no confusion, just steady progress toward peace and stability. If something inside you feels ready, if you are ready to change your situation, take that first step today. This could be the moment your life begins to change. You will find the link in the description and in the pinned comments below. Because what is being revealed in your heart right now is also opening a new path in your life. Not to frighten you. Not to overwhelm you. But because it is time for you to step into your divine purpose. For too long you have lived beneath confusion, believing you were overlooked. But that was never the truth. The truth is that you were always the heir. And now time is moving quickly. Can you feel the urgency? Can you feel your spirit responding? That is because you are standing before a sacred doorway, and Michael is holding the handle. Yet he cannot open it without your willingness. You must say yes. You must stay with this message. Because behind that doorway is not only a miracle. It is everything that was taken from you. The peace. The protection. The provision. The love. The answers. And yes, the inheritance. Not only material things. Not only property. But spiritual inheritance. The gifts you were meant to carry. The identity hidden from you. The truth about who you are and who you have always been. Those who came before you knew pieces of it. But somewhere along the way it was buried, altered, and concealed. Now heaven is restoring what was lost. But there is a price. You cannot return to ignorance. Once these words reach your heart, you will never see things the same way again. The people around you will notice the difference. Some may resist it. Some may envy it. And some will finally reveal truths they were too afraid to speak because this message brings hidden things into the light. And at the bottom of the scroll are these words, "Protect this one. What was left belongs to them alone." Michael stands there with tears in his eyes. Yes, angels grieve when they witness a soul who has suffered unfairly, who has been deceived, rejected, and pushed aside, yet continued moving forward, continued praying, continued hoping. That is why blessing is coming to you. Not because you were perfect, but because you endured. God sees that. So listen carefully. Within the next 3 hours, you will either move into alignment with this blessing or drift away from it through distraction. Michael says, your phone may ring. Someone may ask for your attention. You may suddenly feel restless, tired, or frustrated. That is the enemy attempting to interrupt the delivery. But if you remain steady, if you stay long enough, heaven will place into your hands everything it promised. And what does this inheritance contain? Beloved, it is far more than money. It includes land, keys, names, justice, restoration, closure, answers, forgotten letters, memories never shared, gifts never opened. Heaven is tired of watching you suffer without them. Michael says, enough. My sword is ready. The deception ends here. The time has come. You are not imagining the feeling that something important is approaching. That is discernment. You were born for this moment. You were created to carry heavy burdens and finally see the reward that follows. So listen closely now, because this next part is where many people turn away. But beloved child, you were never created to walk away from heaven. You were created to carry heaven's voice into this world. And right now that voice is being placed into your hands like a living flame. Precious. Delicate. Eternal. Please do not let it fade by turning away now, because what comes next may bring tears to your eyes, but it may also bring freedom to your spirit. This message arrived through prayer, through fire, through heavenly resistance. It was meant to be stopped. Forces worked tirelessly to prevent this moment from happening. But Archangel Michael stood and fought for you. Truly fought. There were spiritual accusations spoken against your name. Someone connected to your family line attempted to remove you from the inheritance meant for you. But Michael stood before heaven and declared, the one God has chosen will not be erased. I will carry this message myself. And now he stands before you, clothed in golden light, holding that very scroll. It carries more than words. It carries years of truth, generations of hidden things, and one sacred name, yours. You have always felt that something was missing, haven't you? As if there was a door in your life that remained locked. As if conversations happened without you ever hearing them. That feeling was never wrong. It was spiritual awareness. God was placing truth inside your heart before anyone on earth was willing to speak it. Because that truth was dangerous to some people, but necessary for you. Listen carefully. The one who sent this message from heaven is closer than you realize. They have been reaching for you through dreams, through music, even through strangers. That time someone spoke your name with unusual warmth. That moment you noticed a feather in a place where none should have been. That feeling that came over you whenever you passed a certain place. Those were signs. Small reminders sent from beyond. But today they finally reached you. And when they were given the chance to send one letter from heaven, they did not fill it with pages of words. They wrote one powerful sentence. Michael reads it to you now. You were the only one I trusted. Please do not allow them to hide what I left for you. This is not only about inheritance. It is about responsibility. Heaven is watching to see what you do next. Will you step into the role prepared for you? Or will you believe the voices that said you were not ready, not worthy, not chosen? Beloved, those voices are falling apart right now because heaven says, you were the only one I trusted. And when God places trust in you, no force of darkness can take away what belongs to you. Yes, there is wealth connected to this inheritance. Significant wealth. But there is also property, documents, records. Something was signed while you were absent. Michael is showing that signature to you now. It belongs to someone familiar. Someone you loved deeply. Someone you lost. Someone for whom you would have given anything. They did not forget you. They protected you. They moved pieces behind the veil so that the final blessing would find its way to you and not someone else. And now someone here on earth feels the shift. They sense something changing because in the spiritual realm the scroll has already been opened. They know that if you discover the truth inside it, their secret cannot remain hidden. That is why strange things have surrounded you recently. The stress that appeared without reason. The unusual dreams. The unexpected conflicts. None of it was random. It was spiritual resistance. Michael says, they have delayed this long enough. The scroll was sealed from heaven's altar. Only you can break it. And the moment you fully receive this truth, the moment your spirit aligns with it, change will come faster than you can imagine. Sudden financial movement. Unexpected phone calls. Property matters reopening. Old documents reappearing. Family members behaving differently. Hidden records coming into view. And someone, the very person who tried to remove you, will suddenly appear acting kind. But this time you will understand. You have seen what was written. You know what was promised. You are no longer the forgotten one. You are the named heir. This opportunity will not remain open forever. And Michael pleads with you now. Do not leave before it is complete. If you walk away again, the door may close and the inheritance will remain waiting. He does not say this to frighten you. He says it because he cares. Because he stood beside the soul who sent this message. He watched them weep when they realized you had never been told what was left behind. But now you know. Now you are aware. And heaven is watching. Perhaps part of you is wondering, what if I am mistaken? What if this was never meant for me? Beloved, the fact that you are reading these words is your answer. Do you truly believe heaven would bring you here by accident? No. This moment was arranged. Every step of your journey led here. This is your confirmation. Angels are moving things around your destiny even now. That is how important this moment is. You have entered sacred timing. The number 3 has followed you because it carries meaning. The Holy Trinity. The threefold blessing. And now the warning of 3 minutes. There is someone standing near heaven's gate speaking your name. They continue blessing you. They continue praying for you. They continue asking God to forgive those who hurt you. They continue asking Michael to make sure this message reaches you. And now it has. The choice belongs to you. Will you remain distant and move on? Or will you lean closer and open your heart completely? Michael has one final thing to reveal from the scroll. A name. Not your name, but the name of the one who tried to take what belonged to you. And when that name is spoken, something inside you will awaken. A memory. A conversation. A feeling you once ignored. Suddenly everything will make sense. You were right all along. Something was being hidden. But it cannot remain hidden anymore because heaven is removing the covering. Michael's sword is breaking the final seal. The inheritance belongs to you. The authority belongs to you. The truth belongs to you. So take a deep breath, beloved, because what comes next may shake your heart, but it may also heal it. This is no longer only about inheritance. It is about understanding why your life unfolded the way it did. The betrayals. The loneliness. The delays. The setbacks that seemed to appear from nowhere. You thought it was misfortune. Heaven says otherwise. It was spiritual interference. Archangel Michael's voice remains calm, but his eyes burn with purpose. He has seen the records. He has seen the timelines. He was present when your name disappeared from the first inheritance document. He watched as someone you trusted transferred away what should have been yours. They smiled in front of you, but behind closed doors they spoke lies that shaped the future. Michael never forgot that moment. That is why he fought for you this week. That is why this message reached you now. Because this is the final opening. The divine restoration has already started. But if this moment is missed, it may delay things for years. And you were not born to wait any longer. You were born to end this pattern now. You see, this is not only about wealth. It is about spiritual authority. When you receive what belongs to you, you receive more than resources. You receive understanding. You receive healing in broken relationships. You receive restoration in your body. You receive angelic protection surrounding your home. You receive guidance so clear that you will know who speaks truth and who does not. But everything depends on your yes. This inheritance includes property. A real place. A real possession. Somewhere there is a key resting inside a box that has not been opened in years. Michael is showing the image now. It is covered in dust, locked away, hidden inside a drawer that someone believed you would never discover. Yet now that drawer shines with light. Angels stand around it because the time has arrived. Inside that box waits a photograph, a deed, a memory, and one final letter. It says, "To the one I love, I saw what was done to you. I tried to stop it. This is all I had left to leave behind. Do not let them take it from you again. This is your reward. Not only for surviving, but for continuing to love when nobody stood beside you." Michael's voice trembles as he reads those words. And if you have stayed this long, it is because your heart was prepared for this moment. Others would have stopped reading. Others would have walked away. But you remained. You listened. You were chosen to hear this. And now something sacred is being placed into your spirit. You may feel warmth. You may feel chills. You may feel pressure in your chest. Old memories may suddenly return. You may think of places you have not visited in years. None of it is random. Heaven is activating your spiritual direction. Your life is being adjusted so you can find the promise that always belonged to you. And yes, someone may try to interfere. They always try. But this time Michael stands in the way. God has placed a heavenly barrier before anyone who attempts to stop what is meant for you. They will not prevail. Not now. Because you have finally aligned yourself with heaven's timing, and what was taken is returning to you in greater measure. You may begin receiving phone calls, emails, documents, or dreams that feel like instructions. Michael says, pay attention to the signs. Your path is being guided. Your spirit will recognize it. You will feel a strong pull toward a decision, and it will be the correct one because your soul is reconnecting with divine timing. Heaven is proud of you. Michael says, even during the nights you cried by yourself, even when you believed nobody cared, even when you asked God if he could still see you, I was there. I saw every tear. And now those tears are being turned into restoration, reward, and repayment. Let that settle into your heart. This inheritance is not only physical. It is eternal. It marks the moment your identity changes. You are no longer forgotten. You are no longer outside the circle. You are no longer the one who was overlooked. You are the chosen one. The one holding the scroll. The one whose name remained protected in heaven even when it was removed on earth. There is a line written in the heavenly record. Michael speaks it aloud while the angels listen. And on this day the seal will be broken, the air will rise, and all that was hidden will be revealed. This day was spoken of before you ever entered this world, beloved. The soul who sent this letter from heaven saw this moment long ago. They cried tears of joy knowing that one day, even if years passed, you would finally understand, finally believe, and finally receive. You are not here by accident. You are not imagining this. You are not losing your mind. This is spiritual. This is appointed. This belongs to you. And my child, when something is divinely appointed for you, it also comes with guidance to help you walk into it with peace, clarity, and stability. My child, I see the weight you have been carrying. The quiet worries about money, the stress you rarely speak about, the nights when your mind refuses to rest. You have been praying for peace, and your prayers have been heard. You are not meant to walk this journey in confusion and fear. You are meant to walk with faith, with clarity, and with daily direction. That is why a simple path has been placed before you, a 30-day faith and financial breakthrough system. Each day you will be guided with a gentle prayer, a small financial step, and clear direction to help you regain control. Nothing overwhelming, nothing complicated. Just small faithful steps leading you toward peace and stability. If something inside you feels ready, begin today. Do not delay this moment. You will find the link in the description and in the pinned comment below. Because what is meant for you is now aligning with your life at the right time. And if uncertainty remains, think about the last thing they left behind. A photograph. A piece of jewelry. A note. A scent. When you see it, you will understand. That object carries meaning. It was left as the final clue. They knew this day would arrive. They prayed for it. And now it has come. So stay with me, beloved, because Archangel Michael has not finished revealing the scroll. The final section, the one you are about to hear, will move something deep inside your spirit. It reveals the hidden adversary, the concealed truth, the divine reward, and the confirmation you have secretly been asking heaven for. Right now, heavenly timing is shifting. Michael says the 3-minute countdown has already started above. But most people misunderstand what that means. When heaven counts down, it is not rushing you. It is aligning you. Divine moments arrive only when the soul is prepared. Never before. You were not ready earlier. But now you are. Your spirit is open. Your heart is ready. And now angels have permission to deliver what they have held back for years. Listen carefully. The person who blocked your blessings, who smiled in front of you while working against you behind closed doors, is about to be revealed. Their name appears on the final line of the scroll. Michael does not reveal it for revenge. He reveals it so you can finally break free. Because as long as you did not know who delayed your inheritance, you kept questioning yourself. But once the truth is exposed, you will stop doubting your value forever. Michael reads the name. Something inside you reacts immediately. You have suspected this person before. But your love for them made you ignore the signs. You kept giving them opportunities. You remained kind. You continued praying for them to change. But they never did. Yet it was never your assignment to fix them. Your assignment was to grow beyond them. And now you have. You are no longer tied to their words. You are tied to what God declared about you. And God does not lie. Your worth was established long before anyone tried to define it for you. Heaven says, your reward is not being withheld. It is being released. In the days ahead you may notice unusual confirmations. People from your past may suddenly return. The name of an attorney you have never heard may appear repeatedly. Someone close to you may become uncomfortable when subjects related to property, wills, or inheritance are mentioned. These are not accidents. These are signs. Michael says you will receive 3 confirmations within the next 72 hours. Write them down. Do not ignore them. They are keys. Spiritual barriers are being removed from your destiny. And what lies ahead will be completely different from what you have experienced before. You will walk differently. Speak differently. Think differently. Because you are no longer living without understanding. You know who you are. You know what has been placed inside you. And you know who fought for you in heaven so you could remember it. This inheritance, this divine letter, is not only symbolic. It is real. Something tangible is approaching. Something with value. Something with weight. Something capable of changing your life. It may come as money, a house, an object, a voice message, a transfer, or even a person arriving with unexpected information. But it is coming, and heaven intends for it to reach you. Yet you must remain aligned. You must protect this moment. You must guard your spirit from the distractions that will try to pull you away. Because the instant you fully say yes in your heart, with confidence and certainty, everything begins moving. And now the final line of the scroll. Michael closes his eyes and speaks it slowly, almost as a prayer. To the one I loved most, if these words have reached them, then heaven has prevailed. Give them everything I was never able to say. Give them everything I left behind. I trust only them. At that moment the scroll shines with light. The seal breaks. And your name is written forever in the book of divine inheritance. This is more than a message. This is a spiritual opening. The waiting season has ended. Archangel Michael has finished speaking, and now the letter rests in your hands. So keep your heart open because what Michael is about to reveal completes the message. This is the final layer, the last message from heaven, the point where you choose whether to step into your divine inheritance or return to a life that was never truly meant for you. Michael stands quietly now, the scroll completely open before him, shining more brightly than ever. The light is not only coming from heaven. It is coming from you as well because you have aligned yourself. And now something within you is awakening. The inheritance preparing to enter your life is not simply connected to bloodlines. It is connected to obedience, endurance, and pain that never seemed to have a reason. Michael reveals that what was taken from you, the relationships, the opportunities, the peace, was not lost by accident. It was intercepted. Someone worked against you spiritually. Someone spoke against your future. Someone asked for your name to disappear into darkness. But heaven never forgot your name. And now every attempt to remove you is being undone. Every season of confusion is becoming understanding. Every rejection that wounded you is turning into a divine yes. Because God often saves the greatest rewards for those who endure without demanding attention. You did not fight for recognition. You did not beg others to see your value. You waited. You matured. And now you are being honored quietly. The letter contains a heavenly map. Not a map of roads and cities, but one made of spiritual direction. Michael says you will recognize it as inner knowing. You will know which step to take, where to go, who to speak with, which door to approach, and which document to sign. Trust it. It may not make sense to your mind, but it will feel right in your spirit. That is your confirmation. And beloved, be ready because people around you may begin acting differently. Some may pull away. Some may try to draw you back into old patterns. Some may suddenly become interested in your family, your money, or your future plans. Michael says, do not tell everyone everything. Some people are not asking because they care. They are watching. Some are not cheering for you. They are measuring you. Protect what heaven has entrusted to you. This inheritance is not only about resources. It is about wisdom. God is placing influence into your hands because you have shown that you will handle it well. You are not selfish. You are not driven by greed. That is why you are being trusted. That is why you are the one reading this message. Only a few people are given this kind of spiritual access. And you, beloved, are one of them. Before the scroll closes, Michael shares one final message. Tell them this. If they truly understood who they are, they would never beg to be loved again. They would never doubt their direction again. They would never dim their own light again because they carry something that even darkness fears. And now your angels are moving into position. Your inheritance has already begun moving toward you. Your future is changing. And your spirit is waking up. This message is your release. Not only from lack, but from pain. Not only from doubt, but from confusion about your destiny. Not only from old family burdens, but into a family blessing that will continue for generations. Your descendants will benefit because you chose yes today. Michael folds the scroll, but the presence remains. Why? Because the scroll may close, yet the doorway it opened in your life has only just begun. Expect dreams. Expect encounters. Expect spiritual insights in the early hours of the morning. Expect provision from places you did not expect. Expect surprises, but do not fear them. Heaven is watching over you now. And the one who sent this message from beyond is smiling. Not because they are gone, but because they finally reached you. Their heart is at peace because their final task is complete. All because you opened this message. All because you stayed. All because you listened. Now it is your turn. Live like the air you are. Speak like the air you are. Walk like the air you are. And remember, Archangel Michael remains beside you. Sword ready. Wings stretched wide. Watching. Guarding. Delivering. And when people ask how everything changed, you will smile and say, it all began with a letter. And now, beloved, heaven has asked Michael to share one final truth with you. A secret hidden long before your birth. Michael speaks slowly, not because he hesitates, but because he knows this is the moment when everything begins making sense. He comes close and says, you were never meant to struggle for this long. Let those words settle inside you. You were never meant to carry so much chaos by yourself. You were never meant to fight silent battles while pretending everything was fine. What happened to you was not heaven's desire. It was interference. Spiritual conflict. People who noticed your light too early and tried to dim it. Generational jealousy disguised as care and concern. And for years you believed their words more than God's promises. But not anymore. Because now the light has returned to your eyes. Michael sees it. He sees your spirit remembering. He sees something awakening deep within you. And heaven is celebrating. Because after all the pain, all the delays, and all the silence, you finally understand who you are. You are not broken. You are not cursed. You are not forgotten. You are receiving your inheritance. And once you know that truth, you cannot unknow it. You cannot go back. You cannot live as if these words never reached you because they did not come only to inform you. They came to appoint you. You are now carrying a divine inheritance that includes change in your finances, favor in legal situations, protection over everything connected to your name, restored dreams, unexpected forgiveness, contact from someone who has been silent for years, and spiritual insight, the ability to sense when someone is not being truthful with you. Michael calls it spiritual awareness, a gift that awakens after you have experienced deception for too long. And now that it has awakened within you, your circle may become smaller, but your peace will become greater. And this is important. What you are receiving is not meant only for you. It is also for those who are watching your life. The people who quietly admire your strength. The people who want to believe in miracles but are afraid to hope. They are watching to see if this is real. And your breakthrough will become their confirmation. Heaven did not place this blessing in your hands for yourself alone. You are the vessel. When you begin walking in what has been prepared for you, others will realize they were never abandoned either. You are the sign. You are the example. You are the reminder that God remembers. And Michael wants you to speak these words tonight, even if only in a whisper. I receive my inheritance. I forgive those who tried to stop it. I am ready for the life heaven prepared for me. Say it. Feel it. Breathe it deeply. Because the moment you do, you may notice something shifting around you. A calmness. A stillness. A presence filling your room. That is not imagination. That is heaven's messengers sealing what has been released, protecting what has been activated, and covering what has awakened inside your spirit. And now Michael takes a step back. His message has been delivered. His promise has been fulfilled. Yet before he leaves, he gives you one final instruction. Never forget who you were before the world taught you to doubt yourself. Return to that place. That is where your strength remains. That is where your miracle begins. And beloved, the rest of your journey will be beautiful because the letter that was hidden has reached you. The secret that was buried has been uncovered. The inheritance that waited has now been released. And the angels who stood waiting are celebrating because you made the right decision. You opened this message, and heaven opened doors in return. And so, beloved, as the winds of heaven grow calm and the final echoes of these sacred words move through your spirit, Archangel Michael lowers his head one last time, not from obligation, but from love. Because you did more than listen. You received. You did more than see. You opened your spirit. And that changes everything. You cannot imagine what this moment has set in motion in the spiritual realm. A chain has fallen. A curse has been removed. A forgotten promise has come back to life. And your name now shines with light. Michael looks upon you now, not as a stranger, but as one who has walked beside your story, watching from the unseen places, feeling sorrow every time you doubted your value. And now he smiles because at last you see what he always saw. You were worthy from the beginning. You were chosen from the beginning. You were always the rightful heir. Much of your pain came from not knowing that truth. But now you know. And nothing can take it from you. The inheritance has been received. The letter has been opened. And the soul who sent it rejoices in heaven. You may sense them tonight through a breeze, through a whisper, through a light flickering softly. That is not coincidence. It is confirmation. It is their way of saying, "You heard me. Thank you." And Archangel Michael remains near. In the nights ahead he will continue watching over you. He will place signs along your path. Feathers. Numbers. Familiar songs. Unexpected faces. These are not small details. They are sacred reminders that your inheritance is active, your timeline is shifting, and your future is being guided by the hand of God. From this day onward, notice how people respond to you differently. Notice how a room feels when you enter it. Notice how easily you begin saying no to things you once accepted. Because when heaven places a crown upon a soul, the world feels the change. And beloved, that crown now rests upon you. So what happens next? Expect justice where things have been delayed. Expect provision from places you stopped thinking about. Expect a phone call that begins with words you never expected to hear. Expect your energy to rise even before your circumstances change because your spirit already knows the shift is real. And when doubt tries to return, simply whisper, "Michael has already delivered it. I have nothing to fear." Because from this moment forward, divine protection surrounds you. Your home is guarded. Your future is secure. Your blessings are moving toward you. And the person who once worked against you will watch what God does in your life. Not as revenge, but as revelation. Because your life has become the message. You are proof that God does not make mistakes. You are evidence that heaven keeps its promises, even when years pass before they arrive. You are the living letter. And the scroll is no longer in Michael's hands. It is in yours now. Signed. Sealed. Delivered. And now, beloved, as heaven's final light settles gently around your spirit, Archangel Michael whispers words that once could not be spoken openly. Words carrying the weight of every delayed blessing, every hidden truth, every miracle that seemed out of reach. He says, "You are not only the heir. You are the guardian of what was lost." Let those words remain with you. You are the guardian of sacred things. Of prayers passed down through generations. Of heavenly plans written before time itself. Of a future that others tried to write for you but never could. Because your spirit refused to give up. Because your heart continued whispering yes even in darkness. Because when your strength was shaking, you still remained standing. When nobody saw you, you still believed. And heaven noticed. You see, beloved, this was never only a message. It was an exchange. A heavenly agreement. A spiritual opening. And when you reach the end of this scroll, something ancient awakened. You will notice it in quiet moments. In your dreams. In the way people look at you. In the sudden understanding that fills your thoughts. One morning you will wake up and realize you are not the same person anymore. Because heaven never touches a soul and leaves it unchanged. And heaven has touched you. Archangel Michael turns slowly now. His wings spread like golden fire, covering your future from every force that once tried to hold it back. And before he departs, he speaks words that break through every barrier. This was never a warning. It was an invitation. And you accepted it. That is what makes this moment different. Others saw signs and kept moving. Others felt the call but remained uncertain. But you listened. You trusted. You leaned closer. You said yes. And now heaven is preparing blessings beyond what you can currently imagine. What is coming will be difficult to explain. You will receive messages containing words like approved. You will find documents that once seemed lost forever. You will hear apologies you never expected. You will feel the atmosphere in your home changing. More peaceful. Less confused. Because the environment around you is responding to your alignment. And beloved, never again will fear lead your steps. Never again will you chase people who refuse to understand you. Never again will you shrink yourself to fit places you have already outgrown. You are rising. You are awakening. You are becoming the living fulfillment of a promise from heaven. So tonight, when everything becomes quiet, do this. Light a candle. Close your eyes. Place your hand over your heart. And whisper, "Thank you, God, for trusting me with what others rejected. I am ready. I receive it. And I will never overlook my miracle again." Then listen. Because you may hear Michael's voice once more. Not through thunder. Not through noise. But through stillness. And it may sound something like this. You have finally arrived. We have been waiting for you. Now the scroll has closed. The message has been sealed. The angels are singing. And your new life has already begun. And now, beloved, as the stars above seem to shine with fresh purpose and the space between heaven and earth glows softly with golden light, Archangel Michael speaks one final time. Not with urgency. Not with warning. But with deep and lasting peace. His voice carries completion. Fulfillment. Destiny accomplished. Your name written, spoken, and protected in the language of heaven. Because you did not simply hear this message. You became it. You are now the living scroll. The walking miracle. The answer to prayers spoken long ago by someone who left this world but was never forgotten. They always knew this day would come. That is why they placed their trust in the angels. That is why they trusted Michael. And that is why they trusted you. They saw something within your spirit that others never stopped long enough to recognize. But heaven saw it the entire time. You may still have moments when you feel undeserving. Moments when you feel damaged, uncertain, or left behind. But let Michael tell you clearly one last time. There was never anything wrong with you. You were simply waiting for the appointed moment. And this was that moment. The greatest inheritance is not an object. It is truth. It is remembrance. It is a spiritual awakening that reminds you that you are loved. You are protected. You have finally come home. The ache you have carried for so many years begins to fade. The shame hidden deep inside starts to loosen its grip. The burden you were never meant to carry is being lifted right now because you opened this message, and that one decision changed the story. Heaven is already moving things into place behind the curtain. People are waking up thinking about you, feeling led to contact you. Papers are finding their way into envelopes at exactly the right time. Keys are being guided closer to your hands. You will begin feeling safe in places that once exhausted you. You will feel drawn toward what truly belongs in your life because your inheritance was never only about receiving something. It was about becoming someone. Becoming the person your ancestors hoped you would become. Becoming the version of yourself that no longer hides. Becoming the reason those who come after you will not carry the same pain. Michael's final gift is not wealth. It is not land. It is vision. The ability to see clearly. To recognize who is genuine. To recognize what belongs in your life. To recognize what comes next. To recognize the person heaven always knew you could become. And when you leave this message behind, you will not be walking by yourself. You will be walking with scrolls written in light. You will be walking beside angels who refuse to let you fall. You will be walking with the strength of heaven behind you and miracles waiting ahead. Tonight you will rest differently. Not with fear, but with peace. You may dream of water. You may dream of light. You may dream of wind. These are signs because the storm has passed. The letter has arrived. The seal has been opened. And your life will never return to what it was before. You are not simply receiving an inheritance, beloved. You are becoming living proof that heaven always keeps its promises. Sweet soul, it is complete now. Archangel Michael has spoken. Heaven has fulfilled its part. And you, child of destiny, have finally answered the call. And remember, beloved, these messages continue because of people like you. We run entirely on viewer support. If you'd like to help keep this mission and these messages reaching more hearts, you can support us with a coffee through the link in the description. God bless you.